What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I know most of you guys are following because of this, so I'm going to try to document the whole entire progress of the body drop on my 72 Monte Carlo. Haven't seen anybody do it yet. These cars, they don't lay low enough for me. Let me show you the car. This is what the car looks like right now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all by any means. I mean, it has its flaws. It's a 50-year-old car, but for the most part, it's pretty clean. Got the true spoke wire wheels. A year and a half, 2 years ago, I put the hydraulics on it. I did a 6 battery, 2 pump, whammy tank setup. I had it to lay out pretty low. I'm barely running any spring in the rear. So on the next frame, I'm definitely gonna modify that. I'm gonna raise the spring pockets, allow me to run more spring and be lower. So right now I'm laying cross member. The cross member is laying on the ground. The oil pan's probably about an inch off the ground. So I'm probably not going to raise the cross member just to save my oil pan. But in the rear, I'm pretty much as low as I can go. Also, I don't know if you can see, but the cylinders are pretty much bottomed out, and that's about as low as I can go in the rear. So by raising that spring pocket, it's definitely gonna allow the rear to lay out more, hopefully get that frame to lay on the ground. It's a little dusty right now. I just got back from the Kansas car show. It's a pretty good show. Actually got first place, believe it or not, so that was pretty cool. This is the engine that's in it. It's just a 350 board 30 over mild cam. I mean, it's been a great motor, no complaints at all, but I want to do the twin turbo LS motor in here, so it's going to be interesting because I mean, I don't know how the LS is going to sit in here, but I'm going to try to position the turbos right here. So turbo there, and hopefully with the body drop I'll have enough hood clearance. I know these, from our research, sit about 3 inches taller than an LS. So right now, with it all the way down with this motor, I got about 3 inches between the cleaner and the hood. So I'm gonna gain 3 inches by doing the LS, and then I'm probably gonna try to get the super low ram, probably the Holly intake, and that sits even lower. So should have hood clearance. I'm gonna try not to cut up the hood, but we'll see what happens. So back to the headers. I'm gonna do the forward facing headers, try to stick the turbo here. Hopefully I have enough room with the hydraulic cylinder. If not, probably have to make some custom headers, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about the hood clearance. So my goal is to get as close as I can to laying rocker. All right, so looks like we're about 4 1/4 from the pinch weld right there. I'm not sure if I want to lay rocker or lay pinch weld, but knowing me, I'm probably gonna go down to the rocker. So that's about 4.5 inches. So do about a 4.5 inch body drop. Another thing I'm gonna do is run a G-body rear end. I got one in the shop. G-body rear ends are a little bit, I think 3 inches more narrower, so that'll allow me to run skirts. So I'm probably just gonna buy some metal ones and weld them in. I know it's been body worked here a little bit, so I'll probably have to go through and fix all that, but weld it, make it seamless. So here's a G-body rear end I have for it. I'm gonna run these springs. I think these were 2-inch lowering springs that I had in the front of that a while back, so I'll probably run those in the rear, be able to run a full stack versus the little bit of spring I have in there right now. So I'll get this cleaned up, sandblasted, clean all this up, make my own brackets to mount the power balls to. I do want to run shocks, so I'll probably keep the factory brackets on and weld in a bar going across the frame to add shocks, just because if you've ever been in a car with hydraulics, you know it can get pretty bouncy. Also, after I get everything mocked up and put in place, I'm gonna rebuild it, put posi-track rear in, new axles. I would like to do disc conversion, but I'm not sure if they're gonna clear the wire wheels. So if they clear, I'll probably do it. If not, no big deal, just stay drums. I also got another set of front suspension components. The only thing I'm really lacking is a spindle. I actually used it on the car not too long ago. I got this off of a parts car. Bought a complete parts car. Took this upper and lower control arms off. But I had to use a spindle on that car because the wheel bearing went out and pretty much scarred up the spindle. So ended up using that. But my buddy Boyce, he has another parts car. So I'm gonna snag some more front end suspension components off of him. I'm not sure if I'm going to extend these upper control arms. The ones I have on there now are extended 1 inch. But when I do the body drop, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the fender clearance to run extended A arms. I might try to slap them on, slap the ones I have on there now and see. But if not, I'll probably just keep these factory, have them chrome, new ball joints, bushings, all that. But let me show you guys the frame I have. Sandblasted, ready to go. Like I said, I'm gonna cut the spring pockets out, raise them up, welding another bar going across to add my shocks to. Also gonna stiffen the frame up, probably do a partial reinforcement. Definitely right here, it's like completely hollow right there, so I'll probably box in all that. Same thing on the rear, box all that in, box the arches in, just stiffen it up a little bit. Here's one of my other cars I have. It's a 91 240SX. I have a RB20 Skyline engine in it. Runs and drives. It's just a little ugly right now, but I might be selling that to help fund at least the engine for that. I'm not sure yet. I mean, I really love these cars. I've had 3 of them, but might have to let you go, buddy. I'll be posting more than just the Monte Carlo. I reinforce frames, do a lot of fab work, so I'll definitely be posting that type of stuff in here, maybe some how-tos. If I do decide to keep this, I'll post the build progress on that too, but mainly focusing on the Monte Carlo build because I'm pretty excited for it. Like right now I'm doing a full frame wrap on a 64 Impala frame. Almost done with it. I have a couple pieces left to do on the rear. Weld that in, weld the front piece in. It's almost done, but so I do a lot of these. I have CNC plasma table, so I can cut out stuff like plaques and use this to cut out my frame templates. I'll be posting a video on how to extend and reinforce some factory 70 to 72 Monte Carlo A-arms I did for a guy in Kansas. So I'll be posting that probably pretty soon too. Thanks for following the build. Hope you guys enjoy the content. I'm no videographer by any means, so definitely going to be a learning experience for me for sure. So hopefully the videos aren't too bad.